Welcome back. I'm Dave. Going to take you through another C7 groove. It's slower in tempo than last week's. And last week I just did it on my looper, my pedal, just that one chord vamp, and we did some double stops and stuff. Along with that, I want to show you just some licks today, and some positions and moving from one position to another. And we're going to use pentatonics mostly, but this backing track has a few additional chords. Okay, so it might help us to reach out from the pentatonic scale or that blues scale to hit some other chord tones to address those chords when they happen. Nothing too complicated, and easier to demonstrate than to describe. So the first thing I want to do is show you the chords, all right? And then you can make your own loop or you can use the backing track down below. It's C7. Four measures. Yeah. Then G7, A minor, F, back to C7. Okay, so now let's use let's use the major pentatonic, C major pentatonic, and just see what we can get going with this. And don't just rip through to the scale, phrase it out. So I'm in that shape 1, position 5. Okay, so now let me get settled in. See, that was kind of rocky. So now let's stop this for a second. So a little bit of that was, a little bit rambling because I was trying to, get up to the other position and stuff and show you. But hopefully one of the takeaways from that, what you just saw and heard, was the simple phrasing and the space in between. So there, I just wanted to play something where you would hear the progression as well, right? Even without the chords. So I played like an F root when it got to the F. And so you don't have to do that. You don't have to play a triad for every one because 95% of that was this shape 1 major pentatonic for C, okay? Now there are some things that you can do in addition to that. Like when it gets to the G, I could go and then see if you can hear this again without hearing the backing track. Okay, so that note, but it's B, it's the major third of the G7, It's not in the C major pentatonic scale that we were using up until that point, but it's just one more. But see how the rest of those notes do belong. The context that I'm putting it in, it's right mixed in with. Okay, so that's the only note that's not shared by those two. There's an F. It's a little minor blues scale type lick for the C. Back it up. So we've got, here's your drill so far. You're using simple phrasings and leaving a lot of space in between and really drilling down to get some nice, slow groove sounding stuff using that C major pentatonic out of this shape. When it goes to the G, we've added, a little bit of a triad approach here, but still working it into and seeing it as very much overlapping with that C major scale. This is the 6 of C major. C major pentatonic scale, right? And that's also that's the relative minor if you're talking roots for C and A minor, right? So check it out. When you play an A minor pentatonic scale right there, you're literally playing the notes of a C major pentatonic where we started, right? But the way you lean into it's going to be different, right? Now that F, you can kind of take it or leave it. I just kind of play the C stuff over that part. The only thing I really go out of my way for on this tune is that G chord. Just because you just want to hear that major third sometimes. But check this out. Take a breath. Everything you just heard analytically right there, here's what it looks like and sounds like. Where we are in the okay. That came out pretty decent, I think. Watch that little segment a couple of times. It gives you the sound. It gives you like a nice visual map of like how to move around right there with this shape of C major pentatonic, then this little triad and kind of part of that C shaped. It's a G, but in Cage speak, it's a C shape of G. And what I did when I went to that G to get to that A minor was very simple. Just walked that thing right. I might have bent it in some of the other instances. did play a little F triad, right? So listen how you can hear all the chords. Man, that sounded really nice until that flood. And that's the way it goes, isn't it? So, you know, let's just go ahead and talk about that idea. At the end of it, when it has that C chord that's, after the turnaround type chords, it goes back to C for, I don't know, a measure or two, and then it starts over. Well, during that part of it, and coming off of that F, off of the put a minor, a blues scale type lick in right there. And then you've got some real, you know, nice flavor. And then when it starts over, maybe get right back into a major pickup sound like. But that minor, you know, pentatonic, you can just do it out of shape one of the minor for C. You can always, do them together. Play like a minor lick. And that, where I go to a major third of the C. Okay, again, the more you talk about this stuff, sometimes the more confusing it gets. So here's the game plan now. Then we'll do a little demonstration. Then we'll get you jamming on this. First stage was we just played major pentatonic, C major, and just see what we can get all the way through with that. Then we add that little triad business for the G, and then target that A note maybe for the A minor, or go ahead if you want to really get into it, play more of a triad there of A minor. Then I just went right to the F note, right? Here you heard all the chords. We're going to play a minor type blues lick, just a blues scale lick, of your choice over that last measure of C. That skip right there, that's a double stop, but I'm separating the notes. All right. Now, let's see what we got using that game plan. I'm going to try to really stick to it for you. We're going to wait for a good full time around here. I can never tell. There we go. That drum beat's always the same on this track. See? No clues there. Okay. Major. then mix it up a little bit. Minor and major. Okay? Trying to keep it simple with the examples here. There we go. So you got this, right? There's a game plan. It's stuff that you probably already know, in your own way, and trust that. Main thing is to not run away from the good notes, right? I'm just gonna, this is where he said to play this scale. We're all tempted to do that. It's one note at a time, one beat at a time, right? And sometimes you're holding a note across 3 or 4 beats, right? Remember to breathe. Appreciate every single one of you. All the support, it's wonderful. We've had a lot of people join recently, and hopefully we can get some more people on board. I haven't been doing as much stuff on the YouTube side just because of time demands. I try to really stay on top of the Patreon side of it here. So those of you that are over here are getting the benefits of what I have to offer. All right, and I really appreciate the support. Take it easy. Talk to you next time.